We are still in the situation where urban councils are receiving 50% more per head than local authorities in rural areas, despite the fact that residents in rural authorities, like Devon County Council for instance, pay 15% more council tax, and many public services are more expensive to deliver in sparsely populated rural areas.
It feels perhaps from London as though the request that we are making is very small. It feels like the tiny tip of a lever. But when the lever is 350 miles long, and the fulcrum is right here in Westminster, that 1/4% makes an enormous amount of difference.
People have stomached, more or less, the austerity measures of the past 3 years because they have seen the grim economic picture that has made them necessary. But as more and more government spokesmen get up, and quite rightly, talk up the fact that economic recovery is showing signs of getting underway, and we all, I think, would hope that that will continue and would gain momentum over the next 2 or 3 years, it will become increasingly inexplicable to people why their public services are eroding away to nothing.
And I can take you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, to schools in my constituency which have nothing like the facilities that schools have in inner city areas, and there are leaking roofs and problems with insulation and all sorts of other things, which I think is absolutely disgraceful, and I will not stop until that funding mechanism is changed.
The calculation I have seen is that 3/4 of the gains that rural councils were expecting from that sparsity change were damped away. And to put some numbers on that, in the case of Mid Suffolk District Council, damping cost them almost £800,000, and that amounted to 16% of the council's entire grant.
I make no apology, though, for repeating. Rural residents earn less, on average, than those in cities. Pay council tax, which is £70 or £80 per head, higher. So they're paying more, significantly more. You add the people up who are paying it in the household, it's significantly more. But see urban areas receive government grants 50% higher than those in the countryside.
Now, in those circumstances, where local councils have made, certainly in rural areas, the sacrifices that they were asked to make, where they have made the efficiencies and the economies that they were asked to make, is it really too much to ask the government of their nation to give them the settlements that they deserve year on year, having made the sacrifices which they have, in order to be able to deliver the public services which the constituents who live in rural communities deserve?
But I would like to congratulate and thank the Honourable Member for Tiverton Honiton for bringing this important debate to the House and giving everybody a chance to make their comments and for me to have a chance to listen to him. I have met him and the team from the Rural Sparsity Group on a number of occasions, and we'll be happy to do so again, and no doubt will be over the course of the next few months as we get towards the funding settlements. I will say to members, I have heard the comments today. The comments are made passionately and clearly, and they're ones that we will be looking at over the next few months as we move towards the spending review.
We will mobilise the rural yeomanry to make sure that we get our fair share of funding. What we are asking for is 1/10 of 1% of the total budget to be shifted towards the rural authorities. We cannot sit in this House and just allow the rural authorities and the rural people to be treated in this way. So we will be coming to meet you again, and we will be looking for your chequebook, because it is no good to have warm words. Warm words you can put nowhere. What you actually want, help. My grandfather used to say, an ounce of help is better than a ton of pity, and that is what we want. We want some help, not just giving us warm words. So we look forward to a real solution. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker.